here, and then let me
This
record.
meeting is being recorded.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Let me just record here on directly on my laptop too, just to make sure. Capture. Hold on. All right. That should be good. All right. So let me share my screen, and I'll give you a quick overview of what we do, what we work. So phase number 1, phase number 2, attraction. All right. So I'm going to be using marketing terms, but feel free to stop me anytime for any questions you have. But we'll translate it into ministry terms. It's going to be the exact same thing, whether it be for a business or for a ministry, right? So I'll just explain first these two phases, attraction phase and then the automation phase. This is how social media works and how from small to big brands, you can build a following.
Okay.
So phase number 1 is create attraction. All the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, even TikTok, they're all built with algorithms, as you probably know. I don't know if you saw the documentary a social dilemma or something like that on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it talks about how the artificial intelligence of social media platforms has gotten so sophisticated that it reads exactly what you like and puts more of it in front of you. So the phase number 1 that you want to create, then, if you want to find the right, in your case, find the right donors for your ministry, right partners. Let me just move this controls. Okay. Is number 1, you have to stand apart from your competition because your ministry is unique from any other.
Yeah.
Then number 2, identify your ideal target, your ideal avatar, your ideal donor or partner. And number 3, create videos that speak to the pains and desires of that ideal target market.
Okay.
Once you do that, then you create followers. And phase number 2 is the automation phase, is create a free resource and to be able to bring him even closer to who you are as a brand, as a ministry.
Okay.
And you bring it to a funnel, which is also called a landing page. You probably heard of that term before.
Yeah, like our website.
But a website where you deliver your free gift and you capture their information, right? So most websites today are really outdated. They're like glorified brochures. And they talk about themselves, and people don't care about it. People care about them, about themselves. So you need to speak in terms of what they are looking for. And then the last one is you create an email marketing campaign where you cultivate a friendship with your ideal target market. So just going a little bit into each one of them. So your ministry is unique, right? There are many ministries, many churches, they're doing wonderful things, but yours is different from all the other ones. Even if there are other ones that are similar to it, yours is different just because you're leading it, number 1, and because of the people that are part of it. And just, we're all unique. That's how God created us. So you need to make sure that your offer is different from anybody else's. And that's the difference between branding and marketing. So branding has to do with the colors that you use, the feel that somebody has with your brand. And people worry a lot about branding, but it's really not the most important part. Big brands like Coca-Cola, Nike, they've been around for 100 years. So if you just say Coca-Cola, you know exactly what they mean. But your brand is so new that nobody knows what it means. So you need to create, marketing is the words that you use to communicate a message of exactly what makes you different, right? And that's expressed, number 1, in your tagline. That's the most powerful tool you have to communicate who you are. You probably heard the term elevator speech, right? Like, what do you do? We do this in terms of what the customer wants to hear, right? In this case, your donor or partner. And then that's how you create attraction marketing in your branding. You communicate who you are, but in terms of what your ideal target market cares about, which is number 2. So your avatar, that's your buyer persona, ideal target market, your ideal client. And for that, you need to study. We need to study together. I'm going to help you with this. I have
Okay.
some materials that you can go over, but I also like to discuss them with you to hone them
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Their motivations, their pains, and their desires. So every
Mhm.
person, your ideal target market is living inside a small universe, people that want to contribute to a cause, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
you've heard
yeah.
of the book, God and Money. It's a really good book. It just came out not too long ago.
Okay.
It's really, really amazing. I'm going to share with you actually a link after we're done here.
Okay.
Actually, I'll send it to
Perfect.
you right now so I don't forget. It's a podcast. You've heard of the Bible Project, guys?
Yeah.
So they did a podcast. They interviewed these two guys who wrote the book. I actually know one of them. He's from the Dallas area. His family is, and it's awesome, man. And let me just share it with you so I don't forget.
Yeah,
So,
you're right on that. Just the the people want to give to a cause. They want to buy
mhm,
because it's got a cost tied to it. There's just
mhm.
everything has to do with it's just the way the probably 46% of society will purchase an item because there's some social impact that's taking place.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, we've all seen ministries that when I look at the ministry, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, how much of what I'm going to give goes to administrative cost,
Oh
marketing,
yeah, yeah,
whatnot, right? How much is actually going to go to the end user, the person that I'm the recipient of my help, right?
yes,
That's one
exactly.
question. Um, uh, in another question is, are the people that these people are helping, do they really need help? Like
Yeah,
for example, I was part of a ministry for a while of help contributing to a ministry where they were helping people that were supposedly hungry. But when I
yeah,
saw who was getting it, I'm like, these people are driving in their SUVs and loading up food in the trunk of
yeah,
their cars. I'm like, I maybe because I grew up in Mexico, like
yeah, exactly.
these people aren't too hungry. Okay.
Yeah, these people need to go to work, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not saying they shouldn't receive help. I just mean for me, that was a disconnection, right? So people that
I'm
are
the same. I'm the same way, man. When I see poverty and
yes,
overseas and lived in it for 13 years, and you
yes,
go, what? Like if you were like I just like reverse the roles. People down there hungry to work. And people
yes,
here they're lazy.
right, right. So anyway, so whenever you have a potential donor that is inside, that's why I send you the book. There's a percentage of usually Christian, but not necessarily all Christian. There are people that are non-Christian that want to donate.
Oh yeah,
They have already the awareness in their mind, in their heart, that they want to help the poor, the needy, right?
yeah, yeah,
So that's your sub. There's something called your niche, then the sub niche, then the micro niche. And I'll send you
yeah.
some recordings that I have that explain that in more detail, so that when we get together, we can
Okay,
go over that in detail, right? But that's kind of your sub niche. But to be able to find your micro niche, you have to really explore the motivations, the pains, and their desires. There's a motivational speaker that you heard of. His name is Anthony Tony Robbins, and a
okay.
lot of his stuff. He's not really a Christian. He's more of a, I think, I view him more as a New Age guy.
Yeah,
But
no
he
problem.
says a lot of things that are true, and
Yeah,
one of them is he says people do more to avoid pain than to obtain pleasure. So they will do more to avoid something they don't want than to do something that they want, to get something that they want. So the main emphasis should be on the pains that people have, they experience with if they are not contributing to your cause, right? I mean, that's why ministries, people have a heart for rescue and dogs, for example, right? They
yeah,
show the poor little dogs, in the pound with the sad music.
yeah,
So that's speaking to their pain, right? Or even like World Vision, where hungry children or whatnot, right? So
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
oversimplifying it, but there's a way where you can communicate how
That's
your
yeah,
unique ministry will fulfill the need that that person has to stop that pain. So anyway, that's
yeah,
number
yeah.
two.
That's good.
And
That's real
then
good.
number three, create videos. People really confused on the video creation, but it's really simple. If you focus on talking about the motivations, the pains, and their desires of your ideal donor, that should be the content of your videos. And
Okay. Like, if you could, just, I'm writing all this down. I don't know why my video is not working, but I'm not worried about it. But could you give an example of like a video, like let's say, let's gear it towards,
Mhm,
like I did a video, a sponsorship video that I've done probably three since I've been here, but I
mhm.
know that we need more video content
Yes.
to um, to actually get to the next level as a ministry.
Mhm.
How would you see, like, looking at our ministry as of Sunday, and taking a video and putting it with the motivation, pains, and desires?
Yeah.
Like, just an idea.
Yeah.
Just
Right. I'll give you one example. Let's say that one pain, a video has to have one idea per video. Not more than that is too much, right?
okay.
So the let's say that so when I was there on Sunday, I deeply connected with the vision of your ministry because I saw the guys whose lives are being transformed. You can't
Yeah.
fake that. I mean, you saw it. We all saw it happening. It was wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that one of my pains, one of my pet peeves is that when I give to a ministry, I never see exactly where the money's going. I have
Yeah.
no I have no direct contact with the person that I actually helped. Let's say that
Yeah.
one of my desires, one of my motivations is, man, I want to meet Joe. I want to be able to shake his hand and I want to be able to say, no, not only I gave money, but I gave some of my time to this
Yeah.
ministry. So you could start, and that's what I described in this third point. I'm gonna send you some videos that give you more detail. You need to have the right content. You need to structure it properly, and then you need to have a mixture of good enough quality, but not too professional to where people are like, ah, that's overproduced. People become
Yeah.
cynical about that. They want. That's why people love reality shows
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's genuine, authentic, right? So you want that mixture. So for example, I would structure, let's say that's the content, right? I want to be a part of an active part of of where I give. That's a point.
Yeah.
The way you structure it is you start with a hook that speaks to that need, and then you tell them if it's going to be so there's different levels of videos. First one, you got the short video, which is the reel on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, or
Yeah.
also called a short in YouTube that goes from 15 to 90 seconds, depending on the platform. It's typically 15 to 30, even up to 60 seconds, right? That short video, the strategy should be that short video should lead to a longer video that is 3 to 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
then that longer video should eventually lead to even a longer video, just like 30 minutes, like a podcast, an interview style, a long
Yeah.
form content is called, right? Where you do a live and you talk more about the same subject in detail. So I'm going to just think out loud right now. Let's say, are you wanting to support the poor, the lost, the addicted in the DFW area today? But you want to
Yeah.
not just send money, but you also want to be an active part of what's going on. You want to get your hands dirty. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you how you can do that, why you are not able to do that so far until now, and how we can change that so it becomes a reality for you.
That's good.
That's the hook, right? That's for the
Yeah.
longer. That's for the 3 to 5 minute video. Then I will go point number one. Many ministries, and this you're not going to throw under the bus anybody, right? You don't want to be negative, but you're going to say some ministries are structured
Yeah.
for you to donate, and you know, out of mind, out of sight. Some people are. That's how they operate. That's fine. There are other ministries like us that where we operate, we want you to be a part of what we're doing because we know that an important part of saving these people's lives is you being a part of it because then you're going to spread the word. Point number
Yeah.
two, let's talk about Joe. Joe, and you give a quick bit of a story of a person, right? You're
Yeah.
speaking again to the desire. You're already fulfilling what you're telling them that's what they want. And then the last one could be it's the call to action, right? To tell them So what do? You need to first questions you need to ask is I'm going to give you two questions you need to ask right now. One of them is what percentage of your ministry goes to the person that you're helping? You know, and well, after I give my money, number two is how can I be a part of it beyond just giving money? And and then I'll just skip ahead of myself here. And if you click on the link down here, I'm I'm going to give you a resource of 7 questions you can ask a ministry that you're considering donating to.
Okay.
Right. So that will be the and I skipped something the tagline. You should give the tagline right after the introduction or after the hook. You give the tagline, and then at the end, when you're inviting them for the free resource, then you give the tagline again.
What do you envision like a free resource like
One could be what I just mentioned. Seven
yeah.
questions you can ask an
Okay.
organization. It's an easy PDF download. Something simple where
Yeah.
they feel like, wow, these guys are educating me, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
good.
that will be so jumping up to the next one then. Um, we designed that free resource that could be a PDF, can be another video that gives you more detail,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah, I
can
would say
be
one of the advantages that we have over most ministries in this capacity is we don't charge like eight out of 10 students that come in cannot pay for the help. And
mm,
the only thing that we charge in the upfront, just to be authentic, is $500, and that
mhm,
helps cover their background check,
mm,
and it also helps cover their blood work because we have to have them. Everyone, when you're in a residential facility, we need to know who has what so that we can protect the rest of the clients, right?
yeah,
And so we're looking at $500, and then we don't take any monthly. And this could be at a fault for our
mm,
ministry, but we're strictly. Um, that's why I'm trying to create more entrepreneurial type uh, business things that we can use the guys to do a dual purpose. One, train them, and then the number two, to generate income for their treatment. And it all goes in hand with it's like a work therapy program. We help them be
wow,
responsible.
wow. Okay, you just gave me 3 different ideas for 3 very powerful videos that go exactly with your mission. One of them is, have you ever wondered what percentage of what you donate, you know, actually helps the people that you're helping? On the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you why that's a concern in your mind and how you can be sure of what you're giving. And then you can go into do you know that most ministries eight out of oh, do you know that 8 out of 10 people that join our ministry don't have the means to we have to fully support them? That's so you can talk about that, right? We can develop that. And
Yeah, and
then
then like there's so many areas like even like clothing, right?
yeah.
So we have a blessing closet. We have and what I've learned just like working like down south in Latin America because we did a lot of buildings and things like that.
Mm,
I had a tagline that I used. We want you to taste, touch, feel, do missions, and
wow.
then you'll never get a better cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I did that for Guatemala because I was advertising people to come down,
Yeah.
get their hands dirty, rub shoulders with the people, learn a new culture, love on them for a week. And it exploded to, I mean, we're doing 25 teams a year.
Wow.
And we ended up turning it over to a younger missionary who came down, who got called to missions, and he took over for us, which is good because now we're here and I feel like we're rebuilding from the bottom up again. And
Mm,
because the guy that was in our ministry, just to give you like a context,
mhm.
he ran it for 40 years and he was 80 when he retired. And
Wow.
it just, some of the new stuff that I know are going to take us to the next level, like this right here,
Mhm.
these short videos, the real social media strategies and campaigns, because we're about to launch a big, huge building project next year. And, and I got to be prepared for that. I got to be able to go into it and say, this is our
Yes.
capital campaign. This is what the ministry is about. Just even the coffee sales, like we'll be selling coffee probably by November, I'm thinking.
Okay.
And these are just we're teaching them how to roast, we're teaching them how to cook, if they're in the
Mm,
kitchen, teaching them how to cut grass or trim trees or be responsible for equipment and things like that. I
that's
want to
great.
take it a step further and get this wood shop mechanics and welding and get these guys certified. That
Mm,
way, it's not just they leave drug free, saved and and certified to get a great job. Not just like we're impacting poverty. We're getting them out of poverty. We're getting them out of a poverty mentality. And
yes.
so those are kind of like the vision of it. And I don't think I'm going to get the women's center until I get this perfected, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
yes, it
God,
does. Yeah.
God's not going to give it to me and overwhelm me with that next step or that next level until I get it our level here. And this is a
Hmm.
huge part of it. Like this is a huge part of it. Um,
Yes. Yeah. So, for example, that's another great point, right? You want to not just clean them up, quote unquote, but you want to heal them up and train them for society, not just spiritually,
empower
but
them.
yes, yes. Give them a real profession where they can go, you know what, this is my profession. This is my
Yeah,
identity. I'm a productive member of society now,
yeah.
right?
And some of it might be ministry. We're starting a ministry class
Mm,
or certification process,
mm,
and that there's like 3 students that are joining up, but those are guys that say, "Hey, I feel called to ministry," and so
yeah,
we want to give them a path,
yeah.
empowering them.
That's great. So see, that's another video just in itself. You can even break it
Yeah.
up into smaller parts. My wife goes with Y1 with Youth with a Mission a couple times a month to the ministry called Beloved One. They go to
Mm.
the strip clubs in Dallas. She's going tonight actually, and there are a lot of Cuban girls that have been trafficked, right, from
Yeah.
Mexico or they started in Nicaragua, taken through Mexico all the way down here, and I mean that's the first point of contact. But after they get out of there, there's right now Y1 is trying to design a program that what happens afterwards. How do you train them to truly be free from that mindset that they've
Yeah.
been a part of, so yeah,
So then we give them a free resource.
mhm. So you give
And
them
I
a
took
free.
photos of all this that way, just so you know.
Mhm.
Got my phone taking photos and stuff.
Yes, no problem, and I'm recording this. You can listen to it later. um so what happens when you give free resources to your potential customers, donors, is that you create goodwill. They feel that you're educating them, you're enriching your content. And I always recommend that either you have somebody who can do it full time if you have the means for that, or outsource someone to do it, because this can become very time consuming. Like the
Yeah.
videos, you can either take the 30-minute video that you will eventually have, or the 3 to 5 minute video that you start with, and you can cut parts out of that and make the reels and shorts from there.
Mm.
And you can also create standalone reels and shorts that communicate the same message that the 3 to 5 minute video communicates, but in a shorter way, right? Because people's
Yeah.
attention spans are quick, and you want to just create curiosity, right? The foundation of all good marketing is curiosity. You're not trying to close a deal. You're
Yeah.
trying to create enough curiosity so they say, "Tell me more. I'm
Yeah.
connecting with what you're saying," right? So that's why you have to create an ecosystem, a website that is built like a funnel.
Mm.
And like I mentioned earlier, most websites nowadays, they're not very efficient. They may look beautiful, but they're like a diploma in somebody's office. They're
Yeah.
really proud of their website, but they're not speaking to the heart of the person who's actually going to connect with you and partner with you. So that ecosystem, the central part of that ecosystem, if somebody has already has a website, you need to have one page that is the main page should be a funnel where you're giving them the free resource and they're giving you their information in exchange for it. And
Mm.
usually they won't give you their information right away. That's why you need to have more than one piece of content. You need to have multiple pieces
Mm.
of content so they have a way to check you out. Right. First,
Yeah.
they don't know. That's all happened to all of us, right? Before I give you my email, I don't know if I want to give you my email. Like, I went to buy a couple of years ago, went to buy some of those new running shoes, right? At one of
Yeah.
those stores. I forget the name of the store. but they asked me for my email. And I told them, I thought, oh man, one more email. Maybe I'll give them my junk email. And they said, we'll give
Yeah.
you 15% savings on your next purchase. I'm like, okay, 15%. If I don't like it, the email, I'll just unsubscribe.
Yeah.
But the first email that I got, since my shoes were for running, it was how to avoid knee problems when you're running. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
I read it or I watched the video, the short video. Then the next one was um, the difference between running and walking shoes. Do you need different shoes for each? That's interesting too. Then
Yeah.
chronic ankle spraining, how you can avoid it and how you can heal it. Like, okay, I'm gonna watch that one too. It's totally relevant to what I care about. So those people became a valuable resource. They That's how you become an authority in the mind of your prospects. So let's say that you have a lot of your followers are potential donors. They may not even end up donating to you at first, but you're cultivating a friendship where they say, hey, whenever I have questions about how a ministry runs, I'm going to go to this guy because this guy just breaks it down for me. You're
Yeah.
increasing the trust and you're helping them in a very practical way. So you really create a goodwill. Like it says here on the free, under the free resource, you're just giving, but before you ask for anything. What turns people off is when you ask for something before that they felt they received anything. It was no exchange, right?
Yeah.
You want to
Exactly.
create a partnership where they're
Yeah.
like, man, lead the way. You know where you're going. I want you to take me where you're going because I like it. And so what you do with this whole process, just to finish the overview, is you filter people, right? You it's more important to filter people. You want to choose, um, you choose the people you want to work with by eliminating people who should really not be working with you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, on a business that I had, I was doing digital marketing to attract clients, and we grew the business to about 1,000 customers in 20 countries.
Wow.
I recruited 175 salespeople, I think it was, and from
Wow.
there it grew to about 1,000, right? And most of them came from social media and came. I didn't know anyone in those countries. That it was all in Spanish. And what happened, I created content. My tagline was grow your business without losing your soul, your family, or your health. Because there's a
Mm.
lot of talk about just pedal to the metal, this grind it, burn the
Yeah.
midnight oil. And I would talk about that's not right. That's not biblical.
Yeah. It
that's
isn't right.
that
Yeah.
is that is idolatry. Like
Exactly.
the priorities is God, then your family, then your good finances. So I would talk about things like that, right? Like, I would start like, are you wanting to build a business, but you feel a constant conflict because you don't have time for your family? On the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you why that happens to you and what you can do about it. So I will
Yeah.
break it down. Number one, you have to rearrange your priorities, right? Number two, you have to really, first things first. And I would quote from a book from um, the Habits of Highly Effective People, right? The
Yeah. Yeah.
big rocks first and all that and so forth. So what happened is people that were following me were people that connected with me. They either already believed in God or they were interested in it. And people who didn't, I was boring to them. Like if I had a guy who was like, dude, I just want to grow my business so I can rent a yacht and with a bunch of bikinis in Dubai. Like, okay, you're not gonna work with me.
Yeah.
I have a completely different outlook in life. So when he listened to my content, that'll turn him off. I'm like, skip, unsubscribe, right? But
Yeah.
other people that are like, whoa, 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 even if they don't have a family, maybe sometimes happened to me that the wife would tell the husband, I want you to work with this guy because he talks about his wife, talks about his kids. I
Mm.
want you to become this guy. When you and I get married, I want you to model this person. Without saying that, indirectly, that would happen. So whenever people contacted me, they would tell me, man, I don't know exactly what your business is, but can I work with you? I love how you talk about God, you talk about family, you talk about finances, not getting into debt and all that. So I filtered out people that I didn't want to work with, and I ended up working with the people that I wanted to. And that's how businesses end up. If you don't properly filter people, then you end up getting customers that they're pain in the neck later. They
Oh
complain
yeah.
about things. They didn't, never connected with how you work. And on the other hand, if you connect with people that like how you work, they went in with their eyes wide open, loving already who you were, what you were about before they even started.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does that make sense?
Yep. Totally.
So
That's totally good.
okay, do you have any questions, or because otherwise I'll tell you the next step.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right because especially on the filtering, I'll go to a lot of churches, every Sunday, and you'll try to you're trying to connect with individuals, and you really need, like, for us, we're basically doing a revitalization of this ministry, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Because it's old school, and so we've made small steps, but we're currently I'm trying to get our systems in place in the just here at the location in order to because I know as soon as I start hitting these this type of social media and all this stuff, it's gonna just take off. And so being able to filter out when you go to churches who who's going to add value to some degree to the ministry versus who's going to suck my time, right? And I
Yes.
think, and that sounds bad, but it's just there's a reality there that like for you, I'm like, my thought is, how do we have another meeting, right?
Yes.
how do
Yes.
we how do we how do I say, help coach me through this so
Hmm.
that I can, because eventually what I want to do with the ministry is have a full-time marketing person that just
Yes.
runs this stuff, because I can't run everything else and just run the marketing,
Yeah.
but I have to figure out how to tap into resources in order to be able to get someone really good on, or even a volunteer base of someone saying, "Hey, I'll
Hmm.
help you run your for a little bit, and help you kind of get going." So filtering out those individuals who are going to add value versus that's going to take you to the next level or not. you know?
Yes. Right, right. So exactly. So by having a very clear marketing message in a system that works, then when somebody approaches you, you're gonna know how to be a good steward of your time by thinking,
Yeah.
okay, this person fits into this bucket. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
him here. They need to, I'm gonna tell them, go watch more of my videos. And I recommend you download this free resource. We have 5 free resources in our website. Go here, click here, and this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So see which ministry. Maybe these people are gonna be full on the coffee aspect, or these
Yeah.
people, they don't have money, but they can work with their
Yeah.
time.
Exactly.
Or this person, maybe you're not sure. So you just put them into this system and they sort themselves out. They
Yeah.
tell you later, right? So you can automate that. But so what I would recommend is, I always tell people, let's focus on the attraction phase first. Let's work on defining your how your ministry is different by making sure you have a very tight tagline, so that every time you go speak anywhere or you meet anyone, you communicate clearly and briefly exactly what your ministry is about. And you might attract people that are like, what? That sounds really interesting. Tell me more. Right.
Yeah.
And so that'll be step number one. Let's work on that. And then we'll move on to step number two, which is defining your ideal client, the pains and desires, which is going to be the key to tell us how to organize the videos, what videos you should create first. Then, after we get this one down, then we can move on to the automation phase and talk about designing a free resource with a funnel and then crafting an email marketing campaign. That sound good?
Yeah. So we have, just to give you an idea, like right now, I have an intern from Southwestern Assembly of God University.
Yeah.
He's on his last semester. He's a marketing intern,
Cool.
and he and I mean, I'm spending probably 6 to 10 hours a week
Mm.
with him working on our website because I want to. We have the oldest website I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I told our board it was created in 1982, and they're like, well, the internet wasn't around then. And that's exactly right. And so him and I, man, we're working on testimonials, and it's good to have this info about funneling it, because when I get all of the content that we need, and there's really two things that we need. One, well, there's probably 3 items on the list. If you need help, how to get it, right?
Hmm.
So if you're struggling with addiction and you've gone to our website,
Yeah.
they can fill out a form and get help. Number two, how to give to what and be a part, volunteer, right?
Yeah.
And then number three is our work therapy like services that we're offering, coffee and tree trimming and landscaping. So those are
Hmm.
kind of my it's kind of a and I don't know if that's too much, but that's what's going on the website in testimonials, our bios, who we are, things like that. So I'm trying to get that like lined up. And I don't, once I get all of our content in there that we're going to be doing, I want to get it to a professional
Yeah.
and then say, now make this awesome, and part of that is getting videos. Like I think we have like 3 videos that
Okay.
we've recorded since we've been here. I think we could have, another if I had a good 6 videos, good healthy videos, I think, and maybe a couple reels. We have a reel on there as well,
Hmm.
that we're putting on there. We can, um, I think that's going to be good, right? To
Yeah.
help, just a platform to start. So I feel like right now in the fall, because it's the kind of the downtime usually
Mm.
for the ministry, we are trying to put systems in place and campaigns together.
Okay.
Like today, I have a meeting with 2 graduate students from SAGU that's going to help do all of my
Mm.
research for the building that we're building next year. So I don't have to mess with it. They're
Okay.
just coming in. That's their capstone to do.
That's great.
So, so I don't know. I think that I can launch this, and I'm just kind of in January, if that makes sense. That's kind of my time
Yeah.
frame because I got to get all my bases in a row. The problem I have is when we go out and we minister in churches, man, it drums up a lot of interest. It has in anyway, and
Yes.
in knowing which ones, like you were saying, a good steward of my time, that which ones do I invest in, and
Yes.
so I'm like super grateful for you, man.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely, man. I was super excited about what you're doing and really want to be a part in any way I can. So yeah, I think you're in the right track to thinking about your website having 3 sections because those are different things, right? But for the donors, people that are going to contribute, yeah, they should all your videos should lead them to in the description. It should have a link to a free resource of some sort
Yeah.
that is going to land on a page inside that section that is for the donors. You want to
Okay.
be a part of it, right? But we can talk about that later. I already mentioned it to Mike, who he builds WordPress websites and so that it would have the functionality to accept donations and whatnot, and set up an interview with you or if needed or whatever. But we can
Yeah.
talk about that later. I think initially, yeah, let's take it one step at a time. I'm gonna send you. How good is your Spanish?
Yeah, yo puedo hablar español muy bien. Yo,
Perfecto.
yo creo que, mira, no hablo perfecto, pero me puedo defender.
Okay.
Yo, yo, yo creo que tenemos un niche
Sí.
market que, por ejemplo, yo tengo un hondureño que está en el programa ahorita
Okay.
y él está mejorando poco a poco. Y si la población de Dallas es como 50% latino
Sí.
o el área, el área de Dallas,
Sí.
debemos tener un programa bilingüe. Ya tenemos un programa bilingüe, mi esposa me ayuda traduciendo como las clases para él,
Okay.
pero nosotros como ya tenemos toda la materia en español. Entonces,
Excelente.
yo hablo bien, estoy luchando un poco con mi español porque em, no he vivido en América Latina por, yo creo, ay, no sé, 2 años ya. Y
Okay.
entonces me cuesta, pero si sigo hablando, ya estoy bien.
Oh, hablas excelente. All right. So for the sake of the recording, I'm gonna go back to English, but
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
but that was awesome, man. Well, reason why I asked you Oh, so your wife is Hispanic?
She's a gringa, but her parents were
Cool.
missionaries in Colombia. She speaks really good Spanish. Like
Okay.
she's
Okay. Yeah,
better
yeah.
than me. So
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. The reason why I asked you is because right now I'm having someone edit a free course, just like a free short course in English and in Spanish. I don't have the
okay.
finished course yet, but I have a playlist in my YouTube channel that I can send to you. I just uploaded the Spanish one.
Oh wow.
So I
Okay.
can send it to you. It's not very long. It's like three sections about about your brand, your
Yeah.
ideal client, and how to create videos. Right. So I'm gonna send that to you so
Okay. Cool.
you can view it. And then when the English is done, I'll send you the English one too. Um, and take notes from that, and then let's set up another time to go over point number one
Yeah.
about
Let's do it. Yeah.
your
And I can
tagline.
do the legwork on just what sets us apart in our tagline, like and just the attraction. I have a guy that can do videos, and he's really good.
Awesome.
He's super good. It's just
Great.
nailing him down is the hardest part. Just
Yeah.
getting time with him.
Sure.
And so I'm going to try to reach out to him as well because I think we could. He did our. I'm going to send you a video um, that we just did, and it's
Okay.
for our sponsorship program,
Okay.
just so you can kind of see and there's probably stuff that's lacking on it, but we had to get it out really quick. We did it in like a day and a half.
Uh-huh.
But he's really good. This guy is like over the top good. So
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Sounds good, Darren. Well, mi hermano, I'm gonna stop the recording and we'll just